A brand new game made by the people that made Fallout New Vegas. Here we go.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon Colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Let's just hope you're handy with a gun. Oh, you look better than my anatomy chart. High blood pressure. Could keep you from blacking out at least. You won't be quite so boring after you've saved the entire colony. If I had this one's charisma, people might actually talk to me. An intelligent colonist. I remember when we had those. High blood pressure. Could keep you from blacking out at least. You memorized how many digits of pi? If I had this one's charisma, people might actually talk to me. You could probably talk your way out of a landing ticket. Ah, a fellow tinkerer. A rabble-rouser. Perfect. The colony's full of rabble. You could make a vicar doubt the law. Like barking orders? Good. We're used to being bossed around. I can be reasonably sure you know how to add and subtract. Working your way up to Provisioner? Working your way up to Provisioner?
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump. there you are, wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Uh-oh.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while.
There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Got him. Let's see where we go.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You out of your mind? No way. Once we've dealt with these marauders, I'm hunting that sick freak down. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go. Waste of company ammo.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork. This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
I'm gonna check these perks.
What can I do for you, Captain? Goodbye. If your equipment is in...
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pick it up on this, but...
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Your pod? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Definitely not the junior in humor. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. Edgewater is a company town. Renting means money. Money means pay. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad... He just is. Look. Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big stuff. Ain't heard that one since I was but a strip. All right, easy now. No need to... Maybe you've been out in the sun.
Let's see what's going on here.
they start asking you for some medicine, come tell me. I'll set them. Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. Because I'm sick. You don't want to... I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. Figured it was obvious. I got sick. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble. That's kind of you to say, I suppose. Company always tells us weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. I really wish you wouldn't say those sorts of things. I'm feeling a touch faint.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will also report to me in the event of your death. A ship? Dear me. I don't approve of fantasizing. Vicar Maximilian. You'll find him in our local church. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at... As broke as pie crust, friend. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the Edgewater is built on the discipline and sacrifice of its people. Say what you will about our town. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn... Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give...
Report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. Edgewater. Jewel of the Vale. Productivity. That's the one. Oh, it's fine. I'm only on my third bottle. I don't start heaving up my guts as long as I can count to 3. Company lets me imbibe as much zero-G brew as I can afford. Even gave me a disc. Yep. Got my mitt stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and sewed up my hand, but I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5... Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but...
This whole army. explain this to you.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with... well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Companions.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Got a sec? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to.
Okay, let's see where we're gonna go.
I'll just be a minute.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison. Anything at all.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive... Depriving them of safety from the... I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as... If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down Band Hered. I happen to know such a book is... My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by... It's a handwritten journal. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Let's see where I gotta go.
Everyone all right? Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. I don't know about normal. It's sensible. Dad just... You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine. Real machines have gunked up oil. Scratched. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's... It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Almost there.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
No.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Can't imagine where she's gone. Could do without the gallows.
Okay, let's see.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Fancy duds. Do the tubes get in your way? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer. You hungry? Something I can... Fresh off the limb. And...
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. Bear an illness, find a place to lay your head down, and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gate. I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just... He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery.
Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers, labor. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb?
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and...
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. I trust you will listen to your...
I gotta go this way. I gotta go outside. Here we go.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
hell?
The control room should be off to the right.
Vending machines.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
Halt. Security patrol.
Here goes nothing!
Here we go. Stay here.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough. Wow! Great work!
Unexpected.
Get ready. Everyone all right?
She's kicking butt.
No, just Just leave me alone! No, just leave me alone!
Who said that? Where's he at?
You're not real. You're not real. No, just leave me alone. Go away, Phantom. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot, scram. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanical. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plan... You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Look, man, what there? Luckily I went all the way down so I could figure out what to do.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Processing. Searching for unauthorized person.
Incoming! Here I go!
Here we go.
Now reduced.
Yeah, huh? Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us that in Mr. Thompson's eyes, those just... I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless the... Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I just... Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oh, I'm friendly with this group.
I think you did the rightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they care much for me.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, huh?
Here we go. Yeah, those people aren't gonna like what I did. But she kinda had a point that you got a small group against like a big, huge town.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
I don't know how much longer we'll last without
Food's bound to spoil at this rate.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you,
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like...
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
I seen you wandering around here. Well, what I meant was you're Sorry, I just wasn't sure if... Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in... I wish I knew. I wager the town had... Would you?
Oh, God.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my... You killed my garden, destroyed. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy, so I buried my boy in the cemetery.
So I kind of can like help get her in there, get rid of him. Kind of like a neutral thing.
Some sort of freelancer?
Yeah, huh? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality. You are disparaging our parent company. We are a Spacer's Choice. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own... You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. So, Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I am as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. No such thing as an honorable resignation. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I have always tried to do right by my town.
There we go.
Where are we headed?
So she could take over the town, but the town could still get... It's kind of like... Kind of cool that it could end in so many ways.
I don't know how much longer we'll last. One of us want to go see what happened?
Marauders can't see us in the dark. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. Little ways ago, she was... Could be. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little... What it...
Look at that. The snake's come back. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
I know, I'm trying to think.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Federally acceptable.
What happened? Sprat fell into a transformer again?
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. I got a captain.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Man, I hope to get a full crew in here. What kind of perk?
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Here we go. Against all odds, the Unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain, horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Criminals? Goodness, no. Plenty of ways to make money in... Laughter. Good. Wasn't sure you'd be able to. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia. And in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous... You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia. And I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found... And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power. But it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Where do I gotta go?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
You're on your own. You're on your own for dinner, so I'm gonna eat some of your leftovers.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? Now playing a Spacer's Choice.
It's not the best choice.
My pleasure. As you wish. May luck be with you. We've arrived at the Groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Can we chat? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you can't... Thanks, Captain. Did you want to talk about...
Reading your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get you. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want to trunk. Do what you want. I'm done here.
Whatever you heard, it's all true. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full... Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship. Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
If it wasn't for us, this whole damn station would shut down.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Gonna head to Lear's for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
You learn to keep your eyes to yourself in my job. Nobody wants you looking close at their cargo.
Stay in the public areas and we'll get along fine.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded and...
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Access to that information is above my pay grade. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board, if I had to take a guess as to why... You take the starch out of him, well... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you... Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in and... Much appreciated. Is there anything else I... The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left, make sure you bring an empty belly. You noticed, huh? What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact all their interstellar freighters. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like. You sure you didn't just step up? There's no working with the board. They don't share. Not Groundbreaker cooperating now. It's a delicate balance, right? They got assault cruisers, gunships. We push them too hard, maybe they decide...
The board wouldn't do that.
It's a tough line to walk, no... Maybe. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station. All right. Be seeing you.
I picked up a signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You're hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
I don't have time for this.
Asshole. Just passing through. Mind my own business.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with...
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Triple Flakes, and Purple Berry Rizzo's Knock You Out Bar. A CCN 76 Yuck Taco Bar with caramel and cream nuts. It's time.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
As you were.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Maybe. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a... Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the... Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in... Don't forget to come find old... Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson. You'll find her fretting in it. I found a handsome ceramic man.
damnable thing about living on a space station. No pigeons to feed. Oh, you can feed the sprats, sure enough. But then the neighbors start moaning about hygiene. How do you do? And welcome to... Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. Glass ear? Nothing to fear. What? Huh. Of course. I try and steer... Fine, as long as the... Chief Tennyson holds the ship to... Our local garbage collectors. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt a regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league.
Got one more hour before the dockmaster bills me. How many beers can I down?
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating.
I'm locked in here. Can you get me out?
Got it, Captain! Wow, not even a scratch. Here they come! Way to go, Captain! That's the last of them!
Got it? Inside voices.
If you can hear me, please hurry. The toilets overflowed on me at least twice. Smells awful, and not all of it's mine. I'll die in here. Just get me out.
I want to free him, but it's like...
Anyone there?
Maybe that's it.
If you can hear me, please hurry. The toilets overflowed on me at least twice.
Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again, friend. What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust... Well, actually, two things broke. Time stood Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. You're gonna shake me down? Fine. Here's every bit I've got. You're a sick. Suppose it's time to reevaluate my career goals.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
RT greeting. Potential gastritis unit dispense proteins for... Beginning dispensing sequence.
Wish we had bigger weapons, but no. Be careful about blowing holes in the hull. Huh.
So far as you know, I'm not drinking on duty.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Are those XF-411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? talk to you?
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be... Good. Don't go making trouble. And so what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outside.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati.
Right. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty... Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else... Groundbreaker's radiators... Only the board has access to new parts. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. The board isn't helping, and my resource... Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants. Good.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertising.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with... Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the...
Is this what carbon monoxide put?
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were...
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
Live free, die free.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outflow pipes.
To the good. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
It takes crazy to live in this universe. Crazy cosmos.
It's so cozy.
Today's my birthday.
Oh yeah? Fuck your birthday.
It's possible I've had too many mushrooms.
Jule's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Back bays are all the home we have, and only home we need.
That automech patch? McGred wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
Here we go.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight Mantipillar infestation.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
Where the hell have you been, Private? You've missed 3 shifts without notice.
I was fixing that toilet you sent me to repair. The one above the lost home.
That was days ago.
That Chief Junlei sure seems well, huh? Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools and... I just met her. How could I be? Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Ju? It's just...
The controls are in the back of the machinery staff area. Keep clear of the radio.
Incoming! Here I go! I can't see! Good job, Cap! That's the last of them.
Good news, Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of Mantis. Bad news, Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Think fast if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Alt performing an
Here they come! I'll fix you right up!
processing. Investigate.
Incoming!
Sweeping feet.
Here I go!
Security actions.
Here they come! Here goes nothing! I can't see!
Let's go.
So they're not too picky about who they kill next. Think fast if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Don't mess with us. Yep. I see it there. Attacking. Here I go.
Required concentration.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command.
Process
Cycle
unable.
droplet
Secure. Workers, prepare to be penalized for your unauthorized actions.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lots of good people can rest easy because of you.
If you're here about the loose seals on level 3...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the fall.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept it. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. Frustrating. Plus, there's no time. You've got my attention.
Yay!
Hey, you the one who fixed those radiators? Nice work. You really saved our buns. Whenever you're free, You aiming to send a message? Me? No. We're going offline in 3, 2... Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. The event's forecasted to last...
That'll put the whole system in a right dire...
We've got backup auxiliary relays. Yeah, I'm working on it. But allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical... I should say no, but why not?
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be working on new products, meaning...
Here we go.
Is any of the news
Have you seen this man? Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Move along.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened? Oh no, this is terrible. Oh, Alex. He was my dearest friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hug... Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentiment. Tell me. Oh, awful business. Right, you're... There, I've removed the flag from... Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you... What? Indeed. And you know where he is? Excelsior! An apprehension of this caliber will be tremendous for my career. I'll send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, only... Oh, la, own. Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, The thing is, I needed money. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker.
To give away something so important to you, there must have been some...
I'll thank you not to question my motives, young miss. It was a mistake. It's only temporary, of course. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over. That's really neither here nor... I've been working on something on the side, all right? Something not entirely... It's a little silly, I'll admit. Silly and completely... I produce bootleg cereals. I can't help myself. Jurisprudence after hours. And they're all mine.
That was you? Oh my stars. All my colonists is just... Well, it gave me a...
You're a fan? I've never met one in the flesh. I suddenly feel quite...
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Udom.
The heart wants what it wants, as they say. Flatterer. I might have pawned so that's the long and short of it. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm certain Gladys can be made, well, can probably be made to see reason. I'll be waiting eagerly for your return.
I want to do it
Is
just
it
to
Mr.
see what
Wells, the
happens.
fellow who woke you? How bad could he be?
Mechanicals all over.
Are you listening to me, Emperor?
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's a lot of slow. Heard of it?
Yeah.
That's a spacious joke. So, what can I get? Have a look.
Depends. What are you planning? You got a good heart, wanting to do this. Frankly, I'm tired of Udom's whining. Don't kill. How's a woman supposed to read her? Suit yourself. Yes, dear. You could always try your hand at landing in Cascadia, if you're interested in dying. Landing pad on... but it's also kilometers away from... Might be... So... Any...
Are you listening to me? You can't get me out of there.
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene?
See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness. Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital...
Hello. Junlei called up from engineering.
said I should let you buy my... Now is there... If only my other patient... The records say Miss Doyle... She's not my patient. I'm... A better selection than you'll find on the...
Ms. Doyle isn't having any visitors. Even friends.
Can't say I've seen... If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. Did he now? The mouth on that man. He must be referring to Irion. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by... You look out, though. Keep hanging around, and I'll begin to think, what can I do? You have yourself a...
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep doors closed for...
To the last ratchet on rotten time. Leave me in peace. You hull-headed quacks do no... What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need... I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Should've known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damn. Alright, okay. We can just... Seems I've gotta do something before Ellie goes
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying... You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them. A lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to... What? No. Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood... If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the... Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udam's deposit. Udam Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even... Thanks for helping me with the... Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
Does that dome look safe to you?
This is Halcyon News.
You know, Mike, Oh, yes, of course. How else might I? Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but I don't know, Captain.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical for a change. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my...
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess... Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a... If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this... But we can say I'm repaying the favor if... You won't be sorry.
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.
Yeah! Got a new team member. I'm gonna invest this time in the water tent.
TNT, I can't believe it's not forced. It's unbelievable how good it is. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted...
Wheels come with everything. It is you. Beginning dispensing.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
It's almost time for today's episode. Yes. You could always try your hand at landing in Cascadia if you're interested in dying horribly. Pick your poison. Might be better. Suit your... Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress shouldn't be too...
Have either of the assaulters?
You learn to keep your eyes to yourself in my job. Nobody wants you looking close at their cargo.
Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhill. I notice your pistol's been making a funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully. You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price. Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by trade. Not much else to know, Cap. It's a mix. I'll make you one sometime. No complaints?
Hey, you got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Yes, just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever... Wow. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personal...
Wow, this'll be interesting, huh?
God damn, that a crew member.
Why was I built to feel ennui? Welcome back, Captain. How can I... Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. What?
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded... See you soon. We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
We gotta talk. This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. Just a little caution. Could be a They don't give medical degrees to dummies, Captain. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there.
It's right here.
No guards, huh? I like this place already.
Captain, something hit them. Something with more teeth than is strictly necessary.
Clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits.
Hey, is that gunfire?
I done had enough of this shit. I'm just the fucking tarmac guard. No one said nothing. Alarms went off, wraps broke loose, and I hightailed it in here to get... Scientists. Name a ant. Wish they tasted. Some say chicken. Anything else? Distress call. From here? Shit. They told me. Got me. I just... Oh, before I forget. Auntie Cleo's makes the best pharmaceuticals in Halcyon. Better...
If you've come to end my life, let's be on with it. Yes. Anton, I must apologize if my call diverted you.
Standard operating procedure for suits, boss. They're all a bunch of cowards.
I'm not sure it's right to fault a man for
An attack. One that I'd wager was due to the nature of my research. My research may not quite fall within legal parameters, so I'm under orders to maintain... I cut the call immediately once...
Captain's got your best interests at heart, mister. Honest.
I suppose it can't hurt. We were tasked with formulating a new and improved dental gel. One cannot exaggerate the benefit. While doing research on enzymes specific to the Raptidon's diet, hours ago, a group of vicious malcontents. If those cretins get their hands on my research... Yes, but don't kill their mother if it's avoidable. We've need of her to replenish our stocks. The research is in the safe in my office. You'll have need of my code and keycard. The lab's entrance is in the side of a hill. You can't miss it if you just follow the road. You'll pass by my protege. That would surely lighten the weight. Too many have been lost.
This Crane guy cares more about his research than his own people.
Well, I think I'm going to end this here for now. I want to thank you all for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.